Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. Good morning, Steve. Thanks. Always, I look forward to give out good technical analysis as well. Good morning, Mr. Global. Sure, let's tackle XRP as well today. So we are starting to see a kind of some sign of life, as you say. In the past week, a lot have happened, mainly with the ban of cryptocurrencies in China. And at the same time, after like a very harsh crash, some good news and positive vibes started to ripple in the market, mainly with Visa and with many big tech giants starting to adopt cryptocurrencies, which is weird. Every time we see that after some sign of bad news, suddenly we see positive news. And what we're going to do today is basically just look at the overall cryptocurrency market in order to assess the current state of each cryptocurrency and the market as a whole. And we're going to dissect each specific cryptocurrency. We're going to go with the top 10 and some suggestions that we have on our trading group. So yeah, let's start. Great. So if I go to CoinMarketCap as usual, I can see that the market is barely up by 1%, the entire cryptocurrency that is. I can see it right here, and this is in the past 48 hours. And the market is around 2 trillion currently, which is a very high number, and it crossed the 2 trillion mark. Bitcoin is back to eyeing $50,000, 50K. It's kind of consolidating in the past few days. We can see right here how in the past 7 days, prices started to pick up again. And the past few days, prices just lingered around 47, 48K. We have Ether also going up in the past 7 days. So we're going to see this trend of let's call it like coming back from the past crash. And prices started to pick up again slowly with Ether eyeing again. I don't want to say $4,000. I'm going to say 3.5K. Currently, it's at 3.3, 3.4 almost. Cardano is up above $2, 2.25 cents currently. Binance is above $400 as well. And we can see how there is a very harsh competition between Cardano, ADA, and Binance Coin, BNB, with a market cap of barely, I'm gonna say a bit less than 1 billion. 1 billion in market cap, which is basically nothing. If we want to talk about it, like a slight price increase of 10% would send Binance or Cardano shooting higher than each other. Tether is around 68 billion, so that's like around 3 to 4 billion price difference from the other. And then we have a huge gap, and we reach Solana at number 6. Solana is at 50 billion, currently at $170. It's back to its resistance, and we're going to see that in our technical analysis today. We have XRP above $1, and I did talk about buying XRP when prices dipped below $1. Prices reached 88 cents, which is a very strong support for XRP. And today, currently, prices are around $1, and that's around 15 to 20% price increase. That was a very good trade setup. Polkadot around 31 billion is around $28.5 billion, and currently around 21 cents. So you can see how most cryptos are kind of up for the day. Luna is pumped 16% in the past 24 hours. You can see a very big price jump, while others are kind of, as I said earlier, consolidating 1, 2, 3% up. Tron is eyeing again 10 cents. It's currently around 93 cents. So basically, most coins are trying to come back from their previous lows, if I want to call that. Those lows are specifically after the previous crash that happened, that is. So now that we know that the market is kind of consolidating, let's jump into start with Bitcoin as usual. We're going to see where prices are going towards and make sure that prices are really eyeing 50,000 and what will happen after this jump. Let's say if Bitcoin manages to break this resistance, we're going to see specifically that. So let's do our favorite charting tool, which is basically TradingView. I'm going to go to BTC USD. So prices are starting to pick up again. The $40,000 is a very strong and important area. I don't want to say only support because it was previously a resistance. We can notice right here how prices reversed back lower after hitting 40,000 once, and another time right here, almost 38, 39. And then right here, we can see how a resistance happened back in May, around $40,000. And later, when prices managed to breach this area became a very strong support. So let's go to the chart. And I'm going to use, as usual, a new chart layout. So this way we can always know how to place our trades. And we can learn at the same time how to basically do our own analysis. And this is what this live stream is about. Great. So now what we're going to do is we're going to see how the chart of Bitcoin and what is happening currently. And since Bitcoin is always one of those coins that affect the entire market because of its huge dominance and because it's like the first cryptocurrency that ever surfaced, it still has a very significant impact on the entire cryptocurrency market. But of course, whenever we talk about cryptocurrencies in general, and specifically when what happened with China, it affected all cryptocurrencies at the same time. Just if I want to see an overlook of what happened so far, we can see how prices are currently on an uptrend, and then they corrected back to their important area of 30 in the beginning, around 30, and that was a very strong support. And then they are currently at around they corrected back to 40,000, but currently they are back on track. And the previous crash that happened in the past week is basically fully recovered. And now what happens from now on, this is what we're going to look at. Are prices going to continue lower in this after this huge market correction, or we're going to see another uptrend, another bull run? And this is what we're going to talk about. So if I want to exactly know what's happening right here, we need to specifically zoom in, and not like that, not what I just did. We need to go to our candles and dissect them into more time frames. And this is the weekly, so each candle is 1 week. Now I'm gonna go to 2 hours in order to see like 2-hour candles. And this is going to be a bit too zoomed in. And we're going to see how prices managed to recover from the $40,000 price mark. And this $40,000 that I just talked about is very important because previously it was a very strong resistance in prices. And if I go to the daily, I think we can clearly see how the $40,000 is a very important area. So I'm going to first delimit this just so we Okay, I'm back. Just share the screen because the screen disappeared suddenly. Okay, so I'm going to delimit, as I said earlier, the $40,000 price mark right here. So this is the 40,000. We can notice how prices in the beginning treated this area as a resistance, okay? And then they corrected back lower. And then when they breached it, we can clearly confirm the uptrend. And then when prices went back to this level and reached it lower, they went back to the $30,000. So it's kind of a, let's say, psychological price areas. We went down to the $30,000, and then that was another strong support. And then when prices reached this area, reached it again, it became a support. So it was a resistance previously, and it became a support today. When the prices collapsed from around $51,000, $52,000, they went all the way to the next strong support, which is naturally the $40,000 area. And today, and within like a few days, prices managed to adjust all the way back towards almost $50,000. So we are anticipating a jump of prices to reach this area right around here. And again, like when I talk about areas, it is an area, it is not only one price. So Bitcoin is currently around here. The downtrend that was happening earlier stopped and was halted by this movement right here, and we can see how prices didn't sink further than this area, and that was a strong confirmation of traders to enter the market. And I'm talking about short-term traders, of course. Now, buying right here at around 47 is a bit risky. I wouldn't advise, so we must wait for confirmation, because prices can still adjust a bit toward 45. Why enter something losing? I would prefer to wait for prices to consolidate around 50 or breach it a bit higher. Okay, so in my opinion, I would say I would want to wait for prices to reach right around here. And then from here on, I can either buy, anticipating prices higher, or I can short if I am a day trader and I want to short. I did that oppositely. So I think that's it for Bitcoin. Not much is happening right now as prices are consolidating for those past 2 days, 3 days. Okay, if I want to zoom further in, let me zoom towards the 4 hour, and this is where I can see a consolidation in prices right here. And this marks about 2 days. This consolidation will either make it or break it. So since I can see this consolidation right here, either prices sink lower, going back toward $44,000. But again, that's like maybe I'm going to talk about 10% lower, or they're going to go higher by 5% or 6%. That's why I would if you are a short term, like if you are leveraging, opening positions and shorting cryptos, you might want to short around here and take a profit around $44,000. Place a stop at around maybe 48. Very tight stop. But at the same time, if you are a value investor and you want Bitcoin to reach a bit higher, you might want to wait. You will not buy at the current price. You will wait for confirmation above $50,000 and then enter a trade. And this is specific for long-term traders. Okay, I'm going to move now to ETH. ETH has a similar pattern of where prices managed to consolidate around 2.7K. This is the consolidation area that happened around here between 2.7 and 3 and 3.1, let's call it. And when prices managed to breach this a bit higher, they continued going all the way towards 3.3. And this exact level is another consolidation for ETH. If we notice, previously, this is where prices were kind of consolidating. I'm gonna delimit this specifically. I went to Bitcoin again. Okay, because I clicked on back. Okay, let me start delimiting the important areas. I have this one right here, 2.7. I have this area around 3.3, 3.4. I have a strong resistance at around 3.6. And the next one would be the psychological price of around 4K. But I'm gonna go a bit lower because prices did show some strength around here, or consolidation around 3.9. This is a decisive area right here. So the strong consolidation was happening right here. And we can expect that prices might consolidate again right here. If prices manage to breach 3.3, 3.4K, I would expect them to continue higher towards 3.6 and then after that toward 3.9. And this is assuming that there's no negative news in the market, like for example, the China ban. Other countries may be banning as well, like India or those countries that were a bit negative towards cryptocurrencies, or even big countries that support freedom of choice, like Europe maybe, or the States, where they, like you can see a Senate or someone wanting to issue a warning or another regulation towards cryptocurrencies that is bad, for example. And this is where stuff might go a bit lower toward let's call it 3K for Ether. But in case this doesn't happen, I would definitely expect a rise towards 3.6 in the beginning, and maybe a bit of consolidation around here, and then going back to 3.9 or 4K. So buying right here is a good idea for ETH 3.3, but placing a tight stop should be in your trade. You must place a tight stop because if prices manage to fall back, they might reach, I would say, around 3.1 or 3, this area right here. And notice whenever I trade, I don't, technically looking at an overview, I don't start placing the Bollinger Bands or the moving averages or the RSI and all those elementary technical indicators. I would rather much look at the pure supply and demand of those cryptocurrencies, because this is what specifically affects cryptos. Of course, now the other stuff do help whenever you want to place your trade, but just analyzing from a top level position, I would definitely be satisfied with charting. So this is for ETH, and notice how we are still eyeing our kind of all-time high, right? And we are not very far from that. So I'm not sure what those skeptics are talking about. Whenever we see someone talking about cryptos, they would say, hey, look at how everything crashed. But looking at what's happening in front of us and looking at the facts, hey, facts don't lie. Look at that. Look at this uptrend. And we are still right here with what everyone is talking about. Anyway, bad news for them and good news for holders, or hodlers if you want to call them. Going to move to ADA. And this, by the way, confirms how you should never listen to anyone except yourself and do your own research. ADA was sinking from its all-time high again. It did reach $3, but that was an all-time high. And I did specifically say in my previous live streams, I don't suggest you buying around this area. And I still remember crystal clearly how I said this is an area that I wouldn't buy because prices might adjust lower, but my upper cap, if you want to call it like that, is limited because already we went from one all the way to $3. Like that's 300%. Like that's tripling your money. Would I want to enter something right here? Definitely not. And we can clearly see how prices adjusted lower. And this is what I said. I said prices would adjust toward 2.3, and they did adjust even lower towards $2, the psychological price for ADA. So I'm gonna place one here. That's the first important area that I want to look at. I want to look at the 2.3 as well, because we are currently around this area. And I want also to see my previous all-time high, which is between 2.9 and 3. This one right here. So far, I can see how the $2, like people who bought at around 2, did a very good job. They are up by 30% in the past few days, in the past week, almost a week. 30% is something really high, by the way, just for people who don't know. And the equity market, like you would wait an entire year to reach like a 30%, to have a 30% performance on your portfolio. While in the cryptocurrency market, you can do it within like a few weeks. And this is what's attractive in cryptocurrency. And I think I had this debate, by the way, just as a side note, with someone who was saying like, what's the difference? I want to invest. Where should I invest, in the stock market, equity market, or should I look into cryptocurrencies? And my answer was really clear. I said, if you are into risk taking, you should definitely go with cryptos. If you want something stable and more, let's say you want to follow the news and follow company-specific numbers and specific industries and make calculated risks, you should go with the stock market. If you want something more stable, because let's say you invested in cryptocurrencies at around $3 and you wake up and you see like a third of your portfolio wiped down within weeks, you would go nuts. If you had like, let's say $100,000 and you wake up and you see your portfolio worth around $60,000, you would go crazy. So I ended up telling him that you need to diversify, know how much risk you are willing to take, and invest accordingly. So today price is at around 2.2, 2.3 for ADA. If prices manage to reach this area, I would expect them to go back towards 2.9 again. And this is a very similar pattern for BTC, for Bitcoin, and for ETH. So I think that might be a confirming trend, because the entire crypto market is kind of doing the same. So, but at the same time, if prices fail to pick up from here, so if you want to buy, you can buy from now, starting now, or you can wait for an adjustment a bit lower toward $2. But I don't see prices adjusting toward 2 again, but they might do that. So either wait for a confirmation or wait to buy at around $2. And the third scenario would be, hey, you taking a risk and buying directly from this price. Some people do that, by the way. They buy a bit lower than a very strong and important area. First, because it is an area, as I said, and secondly, because they are willing to take this extra profit between the current price and the area that we delimit. So that's it for ADA. I'm gonna move on to XRP. Again, for XRP, we have a kind of similar pattern. We have the 87, important 88, 87 strong support. And I'm not basing my fact only from this area right here, because if I zoom out, let me zoom out and show you guys why the 88 area is important. This is a consolidation right here, around 88. And this is another one right here. And I'm gonna go further. This is another consolidation for a few days right here. So we can see how prices tend to consolidate around this area and then continue with their movement. This is right here, where they consolidated between 88 cents and $1. And right now we can see how prices went back to correct toward this area right here, and then they are continuing higher. So let me put the $1 price mark, which I am on today. People can definitely buy at the current price, placing a stop at around 99 cents, 98 cents, and then place some profits at around maybe 1.2 right here. I personally invested in when prices were at around $1, right around here. Now, I was in the red for the past few weeks, past 2 weeks specifically, but then prices are recovering right now, and my XRP position is kind of back neutralized, and I'm waiting for prices to go higher. Now, for XRP, we have something interesting, which is basically the SEC case that we always talk about. And everyone is still waiting to know what will happen with the case. And there are talks, by the way, for people who don't know, that Ripple company is looking to settle with the SEC. And if we see a settlement, prices are expected to basically, maybe like if they settle a very big amount of money, people would ease off from the negative vibes surrounding this company, and I see a very good jump in prices for XRP, and that's what I'm hoping for, entering a trade at around $1. As if prices manage to breach $1 again lower, I can say that prices are a bit weak, and the downtrend is continuing. So if I look at the top and how prices went lower, prices are kind of coming back to life. And if you want to place this one right here, we are hoping that prices do consolidate at around 1 and continue a bit higher. But if prices fall lower than that, this might be a bit of a bad news for XRP traders, including myself. I don't want to see this movement right now. I want to see a bit of consolidation here, and then prices going higher from this movement all the way to 2, and that would yield at around 20 to 30%. Let me go to close this. I'm gonna go to FTM Phantom. Now, Phantom did, September was a great week for Phantom. So let's start by delimiting the important areas. For Phantom specifically, prices, another like a significant and important level is around $1, where prices previously, that was like, I would say, a resistance for Phantom, a resistance price, and we have around, say, 15 cents. And then from September onwards, prices started to go higher, and they reached $2 almost. But then they went back towards 1, and currently we are on our way back higher. Buying FTM at the current price is a bit risky, in my opinion. Of course, I don't want to say that. So we are specifically at a very important level right here, because that was a resistance for FTM, which led with the market crash previously all the way back to 1. But currently it is eyeing its previous all-time high of 2. So if you are a day trader, you might want to basically buy at around here for FTM. Place a tight stop if you want, and then continue on to $2. Let me check. Kansu was saying something. Hey, Kansu. Basically, they develop software for cryptocurrency and blockchain technologies. Crypto money projects highly prefer revisable software. View project details. Quite a successful project, and they are proving them themselves. This is a good project. Now, definitely, I want to say something, guys, that whenever you approach cryptocurrencies, doing charting and technical analysis is never enough. I always say that in all my live streams. My live streams are more about charting, learn how to chart and place our trades, but definitely this is not enough. You must always look at the fundamentals and what the project is about, and understand if they are solving a need in the cryptocurrency market and in our daily lives, for example, as well, like in our daily applications. Looking solely on price movements is not enough. But what I usually do in our live streams is specifically tailored to day traders and to knowing how to chart, how to look at the charts and how to look at prices and try to assess where the next movement is. But again, I really agree with Kansu. This is a great observation when approaching crypto investing specifically, because no one would want to invest in something that has no value, right? If there's no value and the company is not doing some good work, for example, if the company is just going lower and lower with their innovation and the team is leaving, for example, all those important fundamental aspects in any company is really important in any investing activity. So definitely, I would agree with Kansu as well. But looking at Phantom again, I would, if like specifically now I'm talking to day traders, because I am an equity trader, by the way, and for portfolio manager, and I do also invest in cryptocurrencies. I was one of those early investors in cryptos, and back in 2012, 2013, when I bought I had a Bitcoin company, a knowledge company with that was incorporated in the Netherlands. And some investors I know also invested in Bitcoin ATMs back in the days. And we are still looking for mass adoptions, but hey, this is the dream of every crypto enthusiast looking into mass adoption. So yeah. So looking at FTM specifically, if I want to recap, I would, if you want to invest in this token, might want to look out for this specific area where prices might want to go higher, all the way back to the previous important all-time high. Or prices might adjust a bit lower toward this consolidation right here. We can see right here that we had kind of a consolidation at around 1.2, and this follows exactly other cryptocurrencies, by the way. And this is in red, admitting a fall in prices. Anyway, you know, your OCD wouldn't want levels to change. So yeah, I think this is it for Phantom. I would want to place a buy trade right here. Place a stop at around 1.3 and have a take profit at around 1.8, maybe just to click and to confirm my position. So if I go long right here, we show that specifically in numbers. I would at around 1.38. I'm risking 5% of my position in order to recoup around 25, and this is a very good trade, risk reward 4.41. And this depends on the trader that you are. If you want to be a leverage trader, this might be the trade of the year for you. If you want to use no leverage, you just want to hold the token, you can do that as well. And this is FTM. I'm going to go to, let's do one more. Let's do Tronics, TRX. Let's look at Tronics versus Tether, USDT. Now, for Tronics, because personally I am also invested in this cryptocurrency, and I'm going to talk about that. When prices reached around 17 cents, and then they crashed along the entire cryptocurrency market, they reached a low of 0.05, 5 cents. I personally bought at around 5 cents, solely because I saw how the price action happened, and I do believe in the project. It's a really interesting project to look at. Again, as Kansu said in our live stream, who greeted us with his hello, you need to look at the fundamentals of each company that you are investing in the long term. If you are a day trader, you wouldn't want to look at the project. You just look at the price action. So for specifically for TRX, I bought at around 0.054, right around here. And currently we are really close to 10 cents, like from 5 cents to 10 cents. So basically doubling the money. Let me delimit the important areas. We have around 82%, which is 8.2 cents. And now we have the 10 cents area and our target, our new target or old target, if you want to call it, which is also an important area, 12 cents. Let me say why I believe those areas are important. First, for the 5 cents, this is a previous consolidation right here. And then afterwards, when prices broke this consolidation, prices shot way high. And then after this price shot, prices went back to this area. This is the first time. And this is the second time. So that's why 5 cents is a very, very strong support for TRX. Now, why the 82 cents? Simply because right here, prices for a day and then continued higher, and then on the way down, prices halted lower and then continued lower. And currently, we are seeing a very strong support right here for TRX. So prices, when they reached last time around 80 cents, that was a definite buy. And this is why I always tell traders to look for those specific prices and those specific areas in any cryptocurrency and in any trades, even in stocks, by the way. This is where the buyers are buying. So now prices are reverting back higher, and they would definitely reach back 10 cents in anticipation of higher prices and going back to their previous short-term high. I'm going to call it previous short-term high, not all-time high. Because even, by the way, if you want to look to know where TRX price was before, they reached 18 cents this year. But previously, let me go to CoinMarketCap to have a clear overview of where prices were back in 2017 and 18, because I do believe that TRX reached higher. So on TradingView, we don't have the full history of prices. On CoinMarketCap, we can see how, we can have a further back price view. And we can see how prices, let's do year to date. Oh, here we go. Prices reached 22 cents. 22 cents. And we are currently at around 10 cents. So prices can easily still double if the crypto market is going higher. So we had this extended consolidation that happened for years. I'm going to say 3 years. And then we are currently on an uptrend. This slow price crash is insignificant, zooming out and looking how prices are going back toward their previous levels. And that's why I look at TRX, and that's why I specifically bought it at 5 cents, because I do believe that prices were going to go back up. And it was a lagger, by the way. Many cryptos are laggers. When the entire cryptocurrency market moves harshly higher, some cryptos take time to go back up. And I believe that this is a healthy price action for those cryptos. So far, right now, prices when they entered this area, that was a definite buy. If you missed this, I would suggest to wait for a correction back to this area, or wait for the 10-cent area in order to place your trade, because the 10 cent is also an important level for electronics. So wait for them to reach right here, place a tight stop loss at around 97 cents. No, I'm not going to say 97%, which is 9.7 cents. And then place your trade. If you want to, you can buy from now, but I don't, like, again, I cannot even say that I don't support that. Each trader should do his own research, and this is your own analysis. In my opinion, I'm just highlighting important areas. And yeah, I think that's it for today. Let's recap. We basically looked at some important cryptocurrencies. The market is kind of consolidating today on this Sunday, and it is in the green. Bitcoin is eyeing back 50K. ETH is going again higher. We have a harsh competition between Cardano and Binance, BNB. Solana might still also go back because its prices crashed because of its previous something happened with their blockchain, by the way, and it was down for like a few hours. We wrote about that in our on our website, cryptoticker.io/en, for our English readers. So that's it, basically. I hope everyone is having a great weekend. Don't forget to like this video just for supporting this channel. And I will see you guys next week. Cheers.